I'm excited to kick off this next block. It's all on changing the game and how we're all thinking differently, moving faster than we ever have before. For those of you who I have not met, I am Beth Taylor. I am our head of marketing for ATPCO. I joined the industry from big tech a little under 2 years ago. You may also know me by my team's work. So you know that new logo, that's my team's doing. We set out to reestablish the brand, and it required us all to embrace a lot of change. And we've heard a lot of good feedback over the last year. We actually relaunched it a year ago at Elevate. But we all know change is hard. It was a new look for the company. So if you don't like it, just blame me. Just blame marketing for everything. I will be at the bar later and can buy you a drink if you'd like to commiserate or discuss some of the changes. So I want to start asking you to think about the duck, right? So I love this metaphor. I love it for its simplicity. When we started on this journey of transformation, I shared the story of the duck early on. It's pretty straightforward, right? Above the surface, calm, composed, steadfast. Under the surface, it's paddling like hell, right? This guy is all of us. I personally feel like this every day. This should be all of us. And if it's not, something's wrong, and you should ask yourself why you don't feel like this. The world's biggest brands, every Fortune 500 company feels like this. I've worked in consulting, I've worked in big finance, I've worked in tech. Everyone feels like this. ATPCO, no surprise, feels like this. And we've chosen to embrace it. So yesterday you heard our chairman of the board, Jerry Ferran, say you'd have to be living under a rock not to notice the changes happening at ATPCO. So like any good nerd, I went to Google immediately and said, I wonder if there's people that live under rocks. And there are. This guy lives under a rock in Utah, and he has a Twitter page. So, there's something that's a bit of an oxymoron there, but that's besides the point. So, in the last 2 years, we're focusing on the change that's happened at ATPCO. But I want to share the story of how we've done it. And we've done it by focusing on 3 main things. Number 1, energy. Energy is critical. You have to have the right energy in the room, people that are passionate about where you're headed. People have to come together under a common vision and have a willingness to learn at every level. Whether you're an intern or a very senior person at the company, you have to be willing to learn. So, we are merging decades of really deep expertise. ATPCO has some of the deepest experts in this industry, and we're merging those with new ideas from other industries and new joiners into the company to build bridges between the current way things are done and ways that they might be done as the industry evolves. This dialogue is incredibly constructive, and it helps us all get better and move faster. In fact, 40% of our senior leaders are new to ATPCO in the last 2 years. That's a big number. This provides an incredible amount of energy, an incredible amount of passion, and it creates that dialogue. But that energy is at the core of ATPCO. It's not just the senior leaders. I actually want to ask anyone that's from ATPCO to stand up in the room. Anyone? These people are some of the most passionate and authentic people I've had the pleasure to work with, right? I've come from a commercial background. They exist to return value back into the industry. They truly care about returning value to our customers, and they like to have fun getting there. Last year, I did this big survey. You can sit now, yeah, thanks. I did this big voice of the customer survey to ask many of you what you thought of ATPCO. And there was one question in particular that was around, how do you view our people? And I was going through the results, and there was a word in there that said family. Like, the word clouds, where they're bigger, the more people that respond. And I was like, family? You don't hear family in big tech, right? You only hear that. I've only heard that in this industry. That's a big credit to the people of ATPCO and our customers and each of you. So number 2, talked about energy. You got the energy in place. You need to build momentum, right? You thrive on momentum. So last year, we made several key announcements at Elevate. We launched Bridge Labs, we launched NDC Exchange, we announced an academic paper with MIT and the PODS Consortium on the future of dynamic pricing. And since then, there's been a steady drumbeat of progress. Some of the things that have happened this year, right? In February, formally acquired RootHappy. In March, we injected additional value into NDC Exchange with our friends from ARC and RootHappy. In August, we were awarded a patent for a cashless airline ticket pricing model. And just last month, we released the blockchain proof of concept you heard about yesterday with BlockSky. Skift went as far as to say is, who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? ATPCO's first acquisition in its 53-year history shows that rich content will play a huge role in the air distribution marketplace. But what have our customers been saying? My personal favorite, you can taste the change that's in the air. And if that gentleman is here, because I spoke with him at Elevate last year, come find me, because, again, my favorite quote of the year. Skyscanner. ATPCO maybe isn't this boring state company transferring data anymore. They want to look at powering the future of air travel. Etihad, very encouraged about our new positivity, how we've become more forward-looking. And BA, ATPCO is at its best when it's helping airlines understand what the options are and how to move forward. So you can have energy, momentum's good, but why does anyone set out to change their game, right? It's about results. You want to see tangible evidence. So ATPCO is at its best, in my opinion, when we're creating and returning value to each of you. So we are investing in our own innovation, our own transformation, so that you, the airlines and our channel partners, can achieve your commercial goals faster. We don't exist for our own commercial benefit, we exist for your commercial benefit. That gets us to the theme of the presentation, the rising tide. So for anyone that doesn't know this term, it's nested in economic principles that improvements to the general economy will benefit all participants in that economy. And in our case, air travel. So whether you're the big guy, big carrier, a little guy, or even a pirate ship looking for gold, economic benefit will come if we do our jobs well. So let's get back to the duck. Because again, I really like this duck. But more specifically, I want to talk about the black swans of Australia's Gold Coast. Do we have anyone from Australia or New Zealand in the room? I thought Australia was louder than that. Well, there we go. So as I was thinking about the duck and I was thinking about communicating this to my team last year, I came across this video and I loved it. So I'm going to start with showing the video and we'll wrap up.
The elegant birds do things a bit differently on the Gold Coast. They've been filmed surfing.
Heard of Swan Lake? Probably, but welcome to Swan Break. 4 black swans in a row going for a dip and apparently making the most of the Gold Coast's famous waves.
Well, I'll take a little bit of video, and with the second video I took, the swans were surfing at Kirra.
Yep, surfing. One catches a ride on a wave all the way to shore. So fun, he goes back for more. It obviously looked too good, so the other 3 join in for a party wave.
We see Mick Fanning and others and Kelly Slater, but not 4 black swans.
Kel Mills has lived in Kirra his whole life. He's never seen swans here, let alone the surfing kind.
Well, Mayor Tate is spending $1.1 million on bringing the waves back to Kirra, and it's almost finished, and it looks like it's happening. We have surf action here at Kirra.
The swan is paddling just as fast. It's riding the wave instead of fighting it. It's actually going back for more, which I find fun because the folks in the beach thought that they needed saving, right? So in summary, I'm hoping that you guys can see a little bit of yourselves in our story, right? We're kind of this, I wouldn't say underdog, but we are a company that is very quickly and rapidly transforming to meet the goals of the future. And I think everyone in this room probably feels that way. So I'm hoping you can see a little bit of yourself in our story of transformation, learn from our approach, and apply it to your own organization. And again, with all the change happening, and the change happening in ATPCO, make sure you reach out to any one of our experts today, and they can give you more detail and get one level beneath the surface. So thank you.